Hey, Minnesota homeowners, home buyers, and realtors. eXp Realtor David Garvis coming to you, and I'm out here in Tampa Bay, Florida today, here to see our hometown Minnesota Twins take on the Tampa Bay Rays. But you know what? It's May, so that does mean three things. Well, I had to come all the way to Florida for heat now. May means we will be getting warm weather soon in the Twin Cities. It means that we have plenty of baseball games to watch as summer comes, and it means we have 4 months of data for Day-to-Day to get to work, grind through and tell you what's been happening in our real estate market. Let's take a look. Starting off this month, we see supply is still not catching up to what we need in our market. With under 71 homes hitting the market in April, we are down over 6% compared to a year ago and nearly 6% year-to-date in 2022. We can't buy what isn't for sale, so we see our demand numbers dropping too, down nearly 8% in April and down a somewhat alarming 9.2% for the year. We'll dig more into demand in a bit. Home prices haven't slowed though, with a median sales price of $370,000 in April up over 10% and leaving home prices up over 8.5% year to date. And that crystal ball number of just over 1 month of inventory tells us that while it's no longer getting worse, it's got a long way to go before the seller's market will end. For years now, the news has shown us buyers racing to every home put on the market. But in 2022, we've seen interest rate jump to levels not seen in years. Add to that, we've got home prices at new highs. So what choices do buyers have? Now, maybe living with family is going to be the new cool thing. But while some buyers consider this, too often it doesn't work out well. So what about just renting? Rent increases have been a slightly quieter story in our market, but rent prices have been climbing right along with home prices. What we've seen over the last 8 years is renters paying over 36% more for rent today than they did in March of 2014. So let's see how that higher rent compares to an owner's mortgage payment. While home prices have been steadily increasing during the same period, interest rates have been all over the place. In March of 2014, our median sales price for a home was just over $189,000, and our interest rates were at about 4.25%, which meant a principal and interest payment of about $748. Now, as home prices increased and interest rates fluctuated, we saw the mortgage payment move around, even dropping a bit one year, but leaving us at about $1,100 in March last year. That's when those interest rates exploded along with home prices, moving that comparative mortgage payment to over $1,500. And looking, if we compare the rent to own, we see that historically there's a nice savings to being an owner, but now that gap is nearly gone. So as potential home buyers are forced to choose between buying or renting, we may lose some demand as more choose to rent. Day-to-Day will continue to keep a close eye on the numbers and make sure to keep you updated on the impact to our Twin Cities housing market. All right, gang, that's what Day-to-Day says has been happening in the first 4 months of 2022 in our real estate market and a little bit of what he sees in the future. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic May. Enjoy some of the heat when it finally shows up, taking a Twins baseball game, and we'll see you next month.